We got 2 meets left, bro. That's it. We got Continentals next year, and we got April, and that's it. We got an Olympic team. Continentals next year are in a country that is very difficult for us to travel to. Even though when you look at a map where you think as the crow flies, this shouldn't be very hard, but we understand it's like 30 hours of travel. You have to go through Panama, you have to leave security, you have to get your visa, you have to come back into the airport. It's very difficult. And that's over and above the State Department's concerns on us going to Venezuela. I mean, look, we have to, if the competition's in Venezuela, I think we have to find a way to go. It's an Olympic qualifier, you know, or we got to find some way to get our athletes the same opportunities every other athlete in the world gets, which is 5 non-mandatory competitions to select 3 from.
From what I gather, essentially with the Pan American Championships being in Venezuela, there are some political reasons why maybe it might not be the best for the US team to travel there. So they were advised by the government not to go. Of course, for them it was important to get a competition in this February because all the other athletes in the world, it's their like penultimate shot to try and qualify for the Olympics. So they said, well, we need to go somewhere. So they asked the IWF, and the IWF said, look, you can come to the European Championships. You'll lift as guests, so you can't medal or anything like that, but you still get an opportunity to try and increase your total in the sort of the Paris Olympic rankings. So they turned up, and that's why they're here.
Here we see Meredith coming out for her 3rd attempt here at 103 in Bulgaria in the European Championships. No lift for Alwine at 103. Here we see Olivia Reeves coming out for her opening attempt at 110. Olivia, our current American record holder, ranked number 2 in the world on the OQR. So pretty much has secured her spot as an Olympian in Paris. And a nice easy opening attempt at 110 for Olivia Reeves. Reeves after her 2nd attempt at 114 kilos. 1 kilo off her junior world record from December.
No lift.
Laura Donatoma out for her 3rd attempt at 114 kilos. Toma is the European champion and is likely to be one of the main competitors for a medal spot along with Olivia Reeves in Paris. And that'll bring out Olivia Reeves at 115 for her 3rd attempt. Little wobble, step backwards. It's a good lift for Olivia Reeves at 115, tying her junior world record that she set a couple of months ago.
So I looked at your list from different angles yesterday and last night, and when we talked about how, you know, that kind of that front angle where you seem like you were a little hunched over, that's not what it is when you look at it from a different angle. It's just you getting under the bar. So when you pull back on the bar, you're pulling yourself under the bar like that. So it kind of looked like, you know, during this part of the lift that you were curled under, but it's just more about you initiating the pull under the bar. So, you know, so when you look at the side, you don't really see so much of the problem that we're having when you're not staying over the bar. When you look at it from the back like this, it's a little bit more obvious how far the bar is separating from you right there, right? So like, you know, we've talked about for 3 years or whatever, but that body position is right what I'm not really looking for. And you know, when we go heavier, and I know I have it here somewhere, right there. So we got, you know, lines going this way, lines going that way, and that's what I'm trying to get away from. Again, you know, when we go backwards, and this is when you were doing so well around the guitar meet, it looked, the lines were really good. And then they just kind of like started to get back to the way they were again, you know? And that's when everything starts going behind you a little bit. So,
how do we fix it?
well, yeah, there you go, right? Are both then and now, and then now it's not happening. So it's happening really fast. So it's the difference between starting your next pull when the bar is below the knee, which is kind of what's happening right now, versus starting the bar here. And that time is just, it's like that with your speed, the way the bar leaves the floor. So it would be nice if it were like, well, you're starting it here and you really need to start it up here. That's a huge difference, and it's easier to fix that. But when it's so much shorter like that, or you know, when the timing is so close to each other, it's just gonna be kind of difficult to get a good feel for what has to happen, I think. So why don't we just do a pull off the floor, you know, like we've been doing to the you know, mid thigh, just, you know, somewhere above the knee, and then put it back on the floor, and then do a snatch or a power snatch. I don't know, however you feel. I'd like to do some heavy back squats, so just save yourself for that, right? This is just goofing around with technique. Neither one of us really know what the problem is. You know, she's not making the lifts. They look like she should be making the lifts. Just not happening. I think she's feeling the pressure. You know, everybody's telling her that she's gonna be this and she's gonna be that. And then, you know, and then when she misses a rep, I think all of a sudden that pressure starts to mount on her. And I think that's probably what it was. And we just needed to relax. On the power snatch one, just make sure you're getting back into that same position that you did on the pause one, right? There you go. You okay for snatches? Let's try a couple snatches. Let's work up to, what can you work up to? Do you think? 90 kilos? Okay. I make absolutely no money. My goal is to break even every month. There was a time when I was working at 2 colleges, well, at college, high school, and then, you know, running my own gym, and I'm just, you know, just nonstop. And I get a little older and you just really wear down, and then the quality of coaching that you're providing, that's what I was more interested in, you know, not the paycheck or, you know, any of that. I just really wanted to be a better coach, and it was killing me. I didn't have any energy. So I just started fading away from all those jobs, and now I'm real small. You know, I maybe have 20 people that are coming to me. They're all kids mostly. I mean, I like working with the younger athletes, like Olivia. Of those two, did they feel the same, or do you like one better? The first one better than the second one, right? Yeah, okay, so the first one, you stayed over the bar a little bit longer.
It's like when I caught it on my toes.
Okay, I'm just watching, you know, bar path and that stuff. So when you're more patient, this bar comes back, and then you start your second movement when the bar is more right on top of that foot, and you can really turn it on. If not, again, you start coming back, and then immediately it starts at best going into straight line. Sometimes going out, like on that one, just edging out a little bit. Be patient. I had a meeting with Brian Oliver the other day with the IWF, and he was like, hey, you know, if China doesn't take their 71, then Olivia's gonna be the gold winner. And I'm like, that's, first of all, I don't follow this stuff. I think that's incredible even to think like that. But yeah, that would definitely put a lot of pressure on her and on me, because if it doesn't happen, then I feel pressure. You're inconsistent, making at this point some pretty serious mistakes, I think. Relatively speaking, like 8 years into it, a pretty significant mistake. And yet you're still setting world records and hitting big lifts and all that, you know what I mean? So when it all cleans up perfectly, what's gonna happen now? It's one thing if you're with everything is just absolutely perfect and that's how you get to those world records, but they're not, and you're making world records. So I think that's pretty cool.
Here we see Meredith Alwine coming out for her opening attempt at 127.
With Kate's move up to the 81 kilo class, it gives Meredith the ability to lift in the 71 kilo category, an Olympic class.
Second attempt, 132 kilos for Meredith Alwine. Prior to Olivia breaking the record, Meredith was the American record holder in the 71s in the clean and jerk. And last attempt here for Meredith Alwine, 135 kilos on the bar. 4 kilos off of her PR. And that's a beautiful lift for Meredith Alwine at 135 kilos, 3 for 3 on her clean and jerks. Nice way to close out the day. She's still going to be 20 plus kilos behind Olivia Reeves in terms of the OQR. And here we see Olivia Reeves out for her opening attempt at 140 kilos.
Good lift. Amazing display of strength by Olivia Reeves.
Second attempt for Olivia Reeves at 145 kilos. Olivia literally looking like one of the best athletes in the world right now and is probably the leading hope for an American medal in Paris. In fact, I would be a little surprised if she didn't medal in Paris. Second attempt here for Olivia Reeves, 145 kilos.
No lift. Olivia will have another chance. And 2 minutes to recover.
And last attempt for Olivia Reeves, 148 kilos on the bar. Oh, she just loses that one overhead. No lift for Olivia Reeves at 148. She'll be credited with her opener at 140. And even then, she skips off the platform smiling. Gotta love Olivia Reeves.
Olivia would beat out every other lifter, including the dominant athlete in the 71 kilo class for the Europeans, Jourdan Delacruz, by 14 kilos.
I would say today was it was perfectly good for where we are. It wasn't on the great side of things, but it was probably exactly what we needed.
Representing the United States of America, Mattie Rogers.
Come on, let's kick ass!
So, Coach Mary, I don't think she's got much left in her. You know, she's coming to the end of her career. Her performance is going downhill. Oh, Jesus Christ. Going into Doha, there was no doubt that that was the only thing on her mind, is get that total. And, you know, she did it. And so she moves ahead of Sarah Robles. And not just that, she moves into 5th in the world, which means that along with Jourdan at 4 and Olivia at 2, she's in the Olympic spot. So the only thing that can happen to her is either the 281s get 10 kilo personal best in the total, which is very unlikely, or Sarah Robles beats her, which is more likely, but it's more likely. But I'm not sure it will happen, but it's possible. So this European Championship, she's going to, from what we gather, having spoken to her coach, she'll snatch with the intention of trying to snatch big. If she does snatch big, it's a perfect opportunity to try and hit a big clean and jerk. You know, if she can snatch 120 plus, then you might as well go for it. If she only snatches 115, there's just no point, because she'd need a clean and jerk, you know, 179 basically to improve on that total, and that's, or 69, and that's very unlikely to happen.
Having her family here, I think was like, this was the perfect meet to have them here. Bulgaria having this rich tradition of weightlifting was really neat. So I think that that was a super cool part of it. But I'm really thankful that they came, because, you know, I got some backup on like, this is actually, you did a great job, right? This is not a failure. This is an opportunity to learn. This is, you know, you didn't fail. You did a great job. You totaled the most of anybody at the European Championships. You know, just having more supporters there. I mean, there's a lot of people who really cheer for Mary on Team USA, from the staff and high performance staff, coaching staff. You know, so there's a ton of athletes, and I don't mean to leave the athletes out, but you know, when it's a Supers Day, the only people left are the staff. Having other people on that team cheering her on, encouraging her, sitting with her after the meet's over, and you know, reminding her like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. There's no other word for what you're doing than amazing, and no part of what you're doing is disappointing or less than or anything like that. The more people that are on Team Mary that can make Mary remember how incredible what she does actually is, the more people that are in that corner, the better.
Hey, let's go, come on. Dig deep, let's go. Come on, Mary. Legs, Mary. Start it out. Let's go, Mary, come on.
Hey, squeeze it close, finish with your legs, you got this, up. Up, up, up.
You're okay.
Hey, that was like your best pull. You just ripped it, right?
I think just nerves, just kind of up and excited, but also nervous about performance, and maybe doubtful and questioning and all that kind of stuff, and overcorrected by just really ripping on the bar.
Good job, Mary.
Nice job.
Good lift. Good lift, Anastasia. Well done, and congratulations.
Come on, Mary, let's go.
Mary, close, big punch. Come on. Hands close, finish tall.
It's go time. Come on, it's go time, let's go.
Take your time.
Dig deep.
Hands close,
Got
finish
it.
tall.
No lift. This concludes the snatch session. We'll be back in 10-minute time.
On her third, again, she just kind of yanked it from the floor because she was very excited. She wasn't patient. And it was just, I think exactly, it was indicative of where we are. Haven't practiced a ton of heavy lifts, maybe a little bit nervous. So in the break, I talked to Mary, And we just talked about this being really great practice. This meet was lower stakes because she couldn't win a medal. We have another, you know, it's right early in the training cycle, we have another meet in Thailand. So I said, let's just practice coming back, right? Like, let's practice coming back. I'm gonna put you at a really easy opener, and we're gonna go your heaviest clean and jerk of the training cycle so far. Just like you would if we were at home, we probably would have hit a 155 this week in training or something about that. So, and she went out and she made great clean and jerks, like 3 really, really good clean and jerks.
Okay, Keith. Let's go. Let's go, Get set, Mary.
Like you can.
Toes down, fast hands. Good clean. Fast hands, keep reaching up.
Right. Tight.
Come on, Mary. Get set. Come on, dig deep. Let's go. Get set. Toes down, fast hands. Up. Good, clean. Keep reaching up. Keep reaching up. Good job.
Good lift, Mary. Good lift. Well done, Emily. Thank you.
Come on, Mary.
Let's go.
Mary, get set. Toes down, fast hands.
Come on, Mary. Dig deep. Let's go. Good strong.
Toes down, fast hands. Get set. Good. Big drive. Keep reaching up. Reach up. Up. Great job.
9+ kilogram
So what's it like to watch Mary compete in nationals?
In the
Awesome.
European Weightlifting Championship
Different than the States?
2024.
No. No, I mean, I've been watching her since freshman year of high school. The only important thing is whatever she does, whenever she's done, she's not crying. But she might be crying today. So
She'll be crying tonight, but
yeah, even if she was on third string volleyball and doesn't cry, that's good. But,
yeah, I think overall it was a good day.
oh yeah,
A good trip, you know.
part of the learning experience to
Part of the process.
part of the process, step it up, and got some work to do.
Lots of work.
Mary outtotaled the other competitors by 8 kilos. While Sarah's absence was felt, she wasn't the only one to stay stateside.
I get to training. Spencer texts me and he's like, hey, we need to talk. I was like, okay. So we sit down and he's like, so how are you feeling? And I'm like, how'd you know I was spiraling? Like, how intuitive of you. That's so strange. And so I'm just like telling him how I feel, being very vulnerable. I'm like, I'm terrified. Like, I'm so afraid of this. I have to be in the best shape of my life, and I'm feeling horrible right now. And it scares the shit out of me. And he's like, yeah, yeah, And I'm going on for like 20 minutes. And then I'm like, why aren't you like freaking out? Like, aren't you scared? And he's like, no, I actually feel pretty good. Like, I feel pretty confident. And I was like, what? And then I go on for like another 10 minutes explaining why he shouldn't feel confident because of how I feel. And then And then he goes, I have to tell you something. Hayley pulled.
I think I felt a lot of relief after withdrawing from Doha. That started to make me question, like, if I was feeling so relieved to not compete, maybe this isn't exactly what I want. And I think I started having conversations with myself about, like, if the Olympics was ever really my goal or if it was something that a lot of people wanted for me and I just wanted to try and do it for them. There's an accumulation of moments just like constantly feeling a dread, waking up in the morning knowing I had to come and lift, or knowing that I was gonna have to compete soon, that I would have to cut weight. Just dread coming into the gym, knowing I would have to go heavy, and I just felt so tired.
It seemed like she was not having fun anymore. She was tired. Maybe all of this just isn't worth it. And I feel that to my bones because of what happened last time. My experience at the Olympics last time, that really fuels from like a deeper level than I assume maybe she feels because she didn't have the same experience, or really anyone, right? Like all of our experiences are so unique. So what motivates us to get through these hard times is going to be different.
I think I've made a lot of sacrifices throughout my lifting career, but they never really felt like I was sacrificing something. I always had like very clear goals that I wanted to achieve. So those sacrifices that I were making didn't feel like a sacrifice because I knew what I wanted and I knew what it took to get there. But I think last year I think my priorities just changed and I was starting to sacrifice my own happiness and well-being. So I guess I just knew it was time. I'm not gonna cry. Sorry. I just kept asking myself, if you had to be done with weightlifting today, like how would you feel about your career? And it was always like, I was so proud of myself. I'm so happy.
Hayley was ranked 5th on the OQR before resigning from competition, 3 kilos shy of taking Jourdan's 4th place ranking.
I want to say one thing really quick. Hayley Reichardt's one of the best weightlifters that has ever walked the planet Earth, ever. And no one can ever change that, so.
He's my biggest fan.
If Mattie tells me in a week that she doesn't want to compete anymore, I'd be like, great, what are we gonna do? Are you gonna have babies? Like, what's next? No floating? Floating hurts. Okay, so let's start with slow snatches with the barbell, like slow-mo snatches, plus the heaving snatch balance warm-up. Look, coaching at this level, it's a hobby. Like, I don't get paid for this, right? It's not my job. I don't, like, pretty soon USAW is not gonna be paying for my flights anymore, so who knows if I ever even get to go on another international trip. The thing is USAW doesn't pay me for this. This is a hobby and it's something that I do because I love to do it and because I wanna help my athletes' dreams come true. If it isn't her dream anymore, then it's not my dream anymore. Tight. That was so much better. That was so much better. It was like this much, but much better.
Can I do one more there, just to get it moving? So I got divorced. I was told the week we were leaving for Worlds that I had to find a new place to live. I had to leave the state. I had to, basically, the day I got back from Worlds, have something lined up to move myself, my cats, my entire gym. So that was a major stressor leading into Worlds. I did my best to like hold on to that like really good shape that I was like talking about. And I really do think going into Worlds, I was in great shape. And I'm happy that I held on to that, even though I didn't show it, which is a bummer. But I did feel grateful to even be there and to make some sort of total given the circumstances. From between then and now, I have basically started an entirely new life in a new city, in a new place, in a gym now instead of in my own facility. So lots of adjusting. Everything is for the better. It's just taking longer than I guess I would have expected. Because in my head, I was like, well, if everything's gonna be better, like it's gonna start being better right away. Like all of these changes were good and they're happy and they're going to make me a better person in the long run. But like in my head, I was like, once everything's done and I can like settle for a second, everything's gonna be great. Like it's gonna be so good. And even though I wanna like will myself and force myself to be like great, I would love to feel great. It's just taking time. I think the first like maybe couple months, my body wasn't used to feeling safe. And so transitioning out of that constant fight or flight mode to like relaxing, my body was like, what's happening? Like there was a solid month where like nothing felt right. I couldn't even control like my core and my lips. Like I would pee on like a 65 kilo clean and I'm like, what is happening? Like what now? But then I did kind of talk with a few psychologists and they're like, it's like a kind of a PTSD response and like it's just gonna take a second. Like I don't have a second, but like once I understood what was happening and it wasn't like something bad, it's just something different and my body has to take its time to learn how to not be in that like stressed state all the time. Made me feel a little better, but not much better, but a little. It's just hard. And sorry, I'm gonna cry. It couldn't have happened at a worse time. And that's just the reality of it, so. Sorry.
And for the first time this quad, there'd be another U.S. lifter in the 81 kilo category.
I do really good with competition, and I know what it's like to compete with Mattie.
So Kate's probably the most interesting situation of all of the athletes. So from what I gather, she was actually told by Spencer at the start of the quad, we're going to build up, we're going to go for 254. If we hit 254, we're going to the Olympics. And they go to Doha and they hit the 254, best ever total, and then Olivia Reeves does 262. And it's like Spencer had to look at her and say, you know, the plan failed. We executed it perfectly and we failed. We were wrong. We didn't know she was coming. And as soon as we saw Olivia do the 262, the first thing I thought was, oh cool, Kate's going to go up to 81. And she did, because that's the right thing to do. She needs to basically total either 263 in the 81s or the 71s, and might as well try and do it at 81 with the extra body weight. So she gained the weight, and she's got to give it a go.
I want a PR. We have a goal to get to Olympic qualification numbers, but if in the process I PR, I feel like I will have had a fun and, you know, successful meet.
As we enter the 81 kilo session of the European Championships, we see Mattie Rogers and Kate Vibert competing in the same session for the first time since the 2019 IWF World Championships in Pattaya, Thailand. In that competition, Kate, setting a junior world record in the snatch, outperformed Mattie 248 to 240, and they went 1-2 in the 71 kilo weight category. Mattie's resigned from the competition here in Bulgaria. It'd be interesting to see how that affects Kate.
Chest up, back to you, let's go.
Kate Vibert out for her opening attempt here in Bulgaria, 110 kilos on the bar.
Go! Pretty good, just out in front. Come on. It's actually pretty good, just forward off your hip. It's pretty good, just forward off your hips.
Second attempt for Kate Vibert, 110 kilos remains on the bar.
Patient, let's go. Come on.
Come on. Same way, be patient. Let's go.
And that's going to be a no lift for Kate Vibert on her second attempt at 110.
Time you're worried about not overcorrection. Yeah, you overcorrected.
Kate out for her third attempt at 110 kilos. And that's going to be a no lift for Vibert at 110. A very rare bomb out for Kate.
Piros, what just happened?
I can say bad day. I expect to have both a good fight, a good result, but Mattie had problem with her legs days before, not today, but and Kate was okay. She tried, but was not in her good day. This happened. This is sport. This weightlifting sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know the American record? I feel like you might know.
Yeah, we didn't come all this way to not clean a jerk.
So we're geared up. We're doing it. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's embarrassing, but like, I don't know.
143 is the record.
So I need 44.
44.
40, 44?
39.
Let's go straight for 39, 44.
44.
Take 2 shots.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Clean jerks have been great this cycle, so like, might as well show off the one thing that's been going well.
Yeah. We've had good clean jerks. We got to take advantage. For sure will. I'm gonna go tell them. We're still clean and jerking.
Kate Vibert coming out for her opening attempt here in the 81 kilo session, 140 kilos on the bar.
One at a time, let's go. Start here.
Let's go. Eat it high. Joe.
Up, up, up.
That's it. Drive through your whole foot. Didn't do it one time. What was that? Yeah.
Looks like she's going to reset that. Do it again.
Just keep your chest. There it is. There it is. Straight up. Much better. Much better. Back to you. Where are we going? Right-headed. Much better clean.
Another 2 minutes. Okay.
We done? All right. Hey, she wants to scratch. I don't know. Like, I don't have any idea. She has not missed a clean and jerk since Qatar. She hasn't missed a clean and jerk. We thought we'd go for it just because she needed to practice. She was in good shape. She got lightheaded on both of them, which is a weird thing if you're a body weight class up to get lightheaded, so you gotta figure that out. Like, it's gotta be a nutrition thing maybe. Everybody's gonna say like, oh, that's the sport or that's weightlifting or whatever. It's like, come on, that's not weightlifting, right? Especially if you're Kate Vibert, that's not weightlifting. It's only the sport if you don't care or you're not prepared or any of those things. She does care and she is prepared, so got some questions to answer, for sure. Gotta figure out the questions first.
I have been dealing with the injury that I have since November, and it's progressively gotten worse, but when we brought it to staff, they said, well, let's just see. Maybe you wake up that day and it's great, and you warm up your snatches, and then you can make a decision before you take your opener. So I tried to warm up. No surprise, it felt exactly how it had the whole week. It was really bad. It was hard for me to go into that session and act like I was going to compete because I knew 99% I wasn't going to. So it was really hard to get into that like mindset of like, okay, competition day, when it's like probably not even gonna step on the stage, but I guess I didn't really know. Obviously I was seeing specialists, I was seeing doctors, we treated everything that we came up with that could have been what it was, but we didn't get an actual diagnosis until 2 weeks ago, which was when I ultimately made the decision that I did. Had I known earlier, I think I would have done things very differently, but we were kind of under the impression, just like any other injuries that I've had, if we pull back, if we take a couple days here and there and like just adjust training, like it'll heal slowly. I'll be in pain, but that's kind of just accepted, but it wouldn't be so like debilitating like it is. But instead of it getting better with pulling back and doing everything that we could do, it still just continued to get worse. And like every month was like 5 times worse than the month prior. For me specifically, because of the timing of this injury, the likelihood of me hitting the total that I needed at the only event remaining was slim to none. And once I got an official diagnosis, the chances of me continuing to worsen my condition by continuing to push were, I mean, it was almost 100% gonna happen. So for me, that decision was continue to push, get more injured, and still probably not do enough, or just kind of accept it now and start the healing process as early as I can.
With Mattie's withdrawal from lifting in Thailand, Taylor, Meredith, and Kate will have one last shot to dethrone Jourdan, Olivia, or Mary. To do that, they would have to have the performance of a lifetime. And any one of them can. The question is, will they?